Today we're going to talk about maps, and we're going to learn about how maps compile information about human and physical characteristics on Earth. We will also explore different types of maps and how they share some of the same basic components to help interpret map content. So let's look at some basic map components. Most maps have a title. Title just provides a general purpose. So for example, this one is Australia. So we know that this map is about Australia. Now there's different types of maps that feature Australia. But this is just providing a general purpose. So we have the title, and at the bottom you'll see a compass rose. The compass rose is a directional indicator displaying cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, and most all maps have a compass rose. Maps also have a scale, and the scale displays the size of the map in relation to the actual size of the world. And units are usually indicated, and they may be in miles, meters, inches, feet, kilometers, etc. So just know that basic map components include a title, compass rose, and scale. There are other components to maps. One is a locator map, and that's usually a small square or area that shows you the site you're looking at within a larger region of the world. It puts places into context within the larger world. So here we know that this main map covers Australia. But over at the top, you see Australia on the globe. So you can see how it fits in a larger framework. On the bottom, this map is a locator map that shows where China is in relation to the rest of the world. And China is indicated in red. So that's also a locator map. Let's look at some other map components. All maps feature a legend or key. The words are interchangeable. And basically, the legend or key explains colors and symbols used on the map. Maps cannot make room for too much wordiness, basically. So that's why it's important for you to have a key to interpret symbols. So some symbols that you might see are common ones are a star for the capital, or a dot for a state capital, a circle for a city or town, a line for a main road. So you can see that right here with the Australia legend. There are two other legends featured here, but really there can be many different types of legends depending on the type of map that they're decoding. So here we have a legend for a map that would show us where earthquake epicenters are located. And this particular legend shows us fault lines, so you see the colored lines, and the magnitude determined by how close the area is to the epicenter. Above it is a road legend. So if you're driving and you're looking at a road map, you know where the interstate is, or if there's a route or a rail trail, a mile marker, if there's a tunnel or rest stop coming up, or camping grounds, or state parks. So there's all different types of legends, but basically they just help you decode the map. There are three main types of maps, and sometimes they overlap, but for our intents and purposes, we'll just break it down into three. There's physical maps, political maps, and special purpose maps. This map is of Legoland. It tells you where to go, where to find specific sites within Legoland, but it really is a special purpose map. Let's look at physical maps. Basically, a physical map depicts physical features of the Earth. So these types of maps will show you where mountains, rivers, lakes, and deserts are located. And elevation might be depicted in relief form. So relief is usually represented by shading or changing colors. And relief simply is the changing elevation of a land. So on this map, green indicates lower elevations, and you see a lot of that on the eastern side of the United States. And then orange and brown indicate increasing elevations. Political maps show political features that depict human demographics. And that means state and national boundaries, capital cities, names of cities, roads, and other man-made features. Just remember that these maps depict human demographics. Below is an example in this slide of a political non-relief map of the Middle East. It shows national boundaries, so you know when one country begins and another ends, names of towns and capitals, and things of that nature. Special purpose maps are designed to display very specific data or information. So an example of special purpose map would be something like that earthquake epicenter map or a population density map. Another might be a road map. So if you're traveling and you need to know where to go, you're going to get a road map. There's climate maps. There's historical maps where you can map out locations of historical sites. And the map to Disneyland is a special purpose map. So here we see the population density map on one side. And where the red colors are more dense, you know that the population is higher there and more clustered together. And then you see the land use map of Australia. And the map key tells us that it shows us how land is used in Australia. What part of Australia is comprised of urban land use, commercial farming, subsistence farming, ranching or herding, and what parts might really have no widespread use. So, special purpose maps are very specific. So just remember that maps provide a tool to compile and display information about the physical characteristics and human demographics of our world. And maps have specific components to help you interpret information. And there are different types of maps: physical, political, and special purpose. And some types combine elements of another. So that's about it. And this will also be available in presentation form if you prefer to just read it before you take the quiz. Thank you.